In this video, I will be playing a match for All-Star Week, which is a bunch of PokerStars pros playing against players who have done well for themselves, which are Scoop winners, W Coop winners, leaderboard winners, etc. So these guys that we're playing are top-notch quality of players. And I happen to be playing not No Limit Hold'em actually. I've been playing Stud 8. So Stud 8 is a high-low game which I do not have that much experience in, but hopefully I think it'll be interesting to see how I approach it and things like that. I don't really know the rules too well, as this is actually towards the middle end of the match, and I've already kind of learned the rules as I did for the first 20-30 minutes or so, so that helps me learn. Right here I've got Ace Jack 6-3. I don't really know what's happening actually, so hopefully I can catch up the action real quick. I'm calling there on a turn, trying to hit a low because I have 4 cards to a low, and now I do have a low. So I'm assuming I'm just calling down here, trying to just hope he doesn't have a better low and chop the pot, as I just have a high card hand that is very unlikely for him to beat his. So we did just chop the pot right there. And I've got a 9-2-4 right here. I'm going to call here as I've got a low. And he's got a pair of threes, and I still got 3 to low. I'm going to call. Now I got 3 to the flush. I'm thinking my play is getting a little fishy now as I'm trying to hit a hard or a low card, and so I do call down to the river. I'm not really sure what I was doing there, as I was hoping to get a low, to chop the pot again or maybe hit some random flush. That kind of shows how inexperienced I am in the game. Right here with a pair of eights, I figure I've got the best hand most of the time, so I started raising. Started just getting as much money as I can now. I've got 2 pair right here, so I'm just gonna get bet and get the rest in. He probably has a low type hand of Ace 5-3. So I definitely have the best most of the time. I have the best hand, and he does flipped up, rolled up. Well, he's got 3 aces right there, and I need a boat, and I hit an 8 on the I don't know, not the turn, 6th Street, I believe, and that actually gave me a chance for survival. Throughout the match, I was kind of slowly dwindling down to my stack. As you can tell from my stack, it's really low. And we each started with about 3,000 chips, it seems. Actually, 2,500 chips. So I got grinded down pretty low. And at this point, I was like, after going all in there and being on my tournament life, I'm going to step up my game and fight against these guys. So right here, I've got a 3 to the low, and I start just raising right off the bat. I figure I can play it aggressively, and if I happen to be wrong, I can hit the low very often. So I started trying to take the blinds right away. So I have 4 to the low right here, and start betting and hoping I play aggressively, take down the pot, or I can chop it up. One of the strategies I learned was that if I can always guarantee have the pot, then I should be playing it very aggressively, as sometimes I can get him to fold, and I'll win that way equity-wise. It's just like I'm free rolling him if I can get him to fold, if I can guarantee half the pot with a low hand. That's why you want to play it very aggressively. Another thing about stud is I look at the opponent's cards and what they're showing. If they show a lot of high cards above a 9, then I'm going to keep on playing aggressively, knowing that he can't have a low, especially if I have a low and things like that. So in this hand, 2, 3, 4, when I turn to ace, I've pretty much got almost the nuts, because if I hit a 5, I scoop the pot high and low, and that's what you want to do in this game. You want to scoop the pot. And I'm re-raising here because if I hit any card 5 through 8, I've definitely have the best low, I think. And now that I hit the actual nuts, this is actually the best hand in poker for stud high low, because you make a 5 card straight, which is the high, and it counts for the low too. So this is the absolute best hand you can have. And I'm going to actually spin this pot around really, really large right here, unless he hits a boat. Now I'm going to scoop the pot, which he doesn't. And this was really a big turning point after I went all in with the jacks and the 8s against the trip aces and hit a boat. My stack is starting to go up a lot. I might skim over some of the commentary on the hands. Some other things that, I didn't have any experience, and I learned that I was playing this event maybe about a week before this game actually started. I played the match actually on August 1st, which is about 3 days ago. Wasn't feeling too great about just the technical aspects of the game, but I understand how to adapt to players, how to adapt to him, and just finding strategies, quick strategies to that might help me win right away. Just from experience and just seeing how the cards are coming out and things like that. I learn very quickly. So I didn't think that I had like a 0% chance of winning. I actually thought I had a decent chance just because of my adaptation skills and things like that. One of the things I did do to train for this game was I actually played some play money. I played play money high-low, just kind of get a feel for how the cards come out, how to read hands. I didn't even know what a low hand was before this game. I didn't know that it's ace through 8, as in, so if you have ace 2, 3, 4, and a 9, that doesn't count as a low. I kind of thought that you just always use your 5-card low, and whoever had the best low would win. But actually, you need to qualify for a low hand, and you need to have 5 cards under the 8 that aren't paired. So that's one thing I did learn. I did not, since the match did run actually pretty long, I didn't include the beginning of the tournament where I started making mistakes like that, where I thought I was calling down thinking I had the low, but in actuality I didn't have anything, so I was just giving him chips actually. That has to do to inexperience, but you learn very quickly. So right here I've got 4 to low, and I'm playing it pretty aggressively. Like whenever I have draw to low, I just kind of bet and hope he folds. And if he does call, I do have good equity and that I'll chop the pot most of the time. Good equity is, whether from the next 2 or 3 cards, if I hit, one of the low cards, then I'm going to scoop the pot. So that's pretty much my theory and logic on that one. I played pretty weakly right there because when he's showing the ace, he's starting the low hand very quickly, so, or he's got a high hand, so I'm going to play a little bit smartly and, stop chasing cards just because I haven't seen the next card. When I'm showing an ace, it looks very strong, so I figure even though I don't have much in my hand, even though I do have 3 to low to my hand, but I can start playing aggressively when you're showing a high card hand like that, because I think at least, especially the ace, because it works both ways for the high and the low, that he might just get scared right off the bat. So that's what I was doing, just raising right away and hopefully get him to fold. But now that he's showing 3 low cards, I'm going to assume that more often than not, one of the cards hidden is going to be one of those low cards, so he won't be folding. There's no point for me to aggressively bet, try to get him to fold when he's never going to fold if he can draw to the low or already has one. So that's what my thinking was on just kind of pitching it at that point. I definitely have a lot of fundamental errors in this game, mistakes, but I think I adjust to it decently well. So right there, I was thinking about calling, which was my first initial reaction, but I went straight to the fold button. I really didn't have anything. I just had a lot of middle cards that don't make good lows or highs. So in a stud game, also, each player has to bring in the pot, which means, depending on what cards, I actually don't know what, we both have 6s here. I'm not sure who brings in it. It looks like I brought it in. Maybe they go by ranking, like diamonds, clubs, hearts, spades. I actually do not know. That's a great thing about playing online, is that they will tell you whether whose turn it is and how much you can bet. That's why playing like a pot limit game, if I had to play that live, it might be a disaster. I think the dealer might hate me, as I would always ask, how much I want to bet the pot, and I'm like, how much is it? Whereas online, it'll tell me what to bet. So like here, I know whose turn it is by the poker client telling me whose turn it is and things like that. So that's one of the great things about playing online, and that's why I like the play money actually helped me a lot. And also in the play money, it does demonstrate above the top right of your bet call buttons, there is a thing that tells you like your high hand, the high hand you currently have, and the low hand you currently have. So that definitely helps a lot, as I will know whether I do have a low hand and what kind of high hand, as it's kind of hard to read both hands at the same time when you're new to the game, whether you have a high or low. And play money did help me a lot in that aspect. However, when I was playing this tournament, I realized I didn't have that little hint function on what low hands and what high hands I have. So I did make mistakes where I thought I had the best hand, or I thought I had a low hand, but I really didn't. So play money does help you in that aspect. And if you want to learn a game, one of these side games, you might want to consider playing some play money and just checking out. It's free to play and definitely pretty sweet. And I'm going to pause right here and record the second part.